All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Explore Simpson series, Student Perspectives. My name is Mark Gensler. I am an admissions counselor here at Simpson. My territories are Northwest Iowa, the Dakotas, Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado. Tonight, we have a wonderful panel of students that are here that are going to give their Simpson story, if you will. So tonight we have Georgia Porter, who is a senior. We have Kimberly Roberts, who is also a senior. And then we have Ethan Humble, who is a sophomore. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Georgia to kind of get us started here with her Simpson experience.
Hello, everyone. My name is Georgia. As Mark said, I'm a senior. I'm majoring in math and computer science. I have a minor in secondary education as well. I'm a part of the softball team, so I'm a catcher here. I spend a lot of my time in athletics. I'm also in the math club, which is a lot of fun. It's always really good to get involved on campus. And I work in the admissions office. So if you guys come and visit on a tour, I might be your tour guide by chance, but I'm from a small town here in Iowa. So I'm from Melbourne, Iowa, about an hour east of campus. And so small high school, and I was really looking for, a community feel in college. So I came on a visit, I sat in on a class, had a meeting with one of the professors who's actually now my advisor. And so I just really fell in love with that community aspect. I love the relationships I have with my professors. Being a student athlete, it's hard to manage your time sometimes. And so the professors are really good about giving you some one-on-one instruction and letting you come to office hours and doing a lot of, providing a lot of really good resources. So I love that. And I've also had the opportunity to have 3 internships during my time here at Simpson. And so our closeness to Des Moines, we're about 20 minutes south of Des Moines, it provides all those different opportunities. So no matter what your major is, if it's pre-med, we've got a lot of hospitals close in Des Moines. If it's business or accounting or IT, lots of different internships available, and your professors do a really good job of helping with networking for that. I'm trying to think of some fun facts about me. One thing that we do that's kind of nerdy fun here in the math club, we do a Halloween gambling night. And so we play some games for some candy on Halloween. And that's one of my favorite activities. I also really like going to bingo on campus. So our campus activities board, in a pre-COVID year, they would have a big giant campus-wide bingo once a month. And everyone, on my tours, when I talk about bingo, people usually think it's lame. But so we have to take a second to explain how it works. They have like 10 huge tables of prizes. They give away flat screen TVs and Apple Watches. I've won concert tickets. I won a frying pan set. There's always snacks and games and lots of fun stuff. So ask questions and, find out the colleges that you're looking at, what kind of fun events do they have on campus or close around campus. In Indianola, there's lots of things to do as well as just a short drive to Des Moines. So that's my spiel, and I'll hand it off to Ethan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ethan Humble. I'm actually a sophomore here at Simpson. I came from Stewartville, Minnesota. It's a small town just right near Rochester, so way down in the southeast corner. And I actually first found Simpson because I wanted to be studying actuarial science. So like dealing with insurance rates and math and all that stuff, because it's one of the few schools in the Midwest that actually offers that as a major. So I first came down here and I visited for that reason. And I quickly fell in love with the small school feel that Simpson provides. The people here really genuinely care about you. And even just from visiting for 4 hours or so, I learned real quickly that it would be a great place to call my home. And since then, I've actually changed my major. I'm now studying multimedia journalism and marketing communications, and I'm minoring in math instead. So I took a pretty big shift there, and that's because I learned that I'm just too much of a people person to be at desk all day doing numbers, which I love numbers. And George, I know you're a math gal, so no shade there, but it's just not exactly something I wanted to do as a career. And Simpson, their career development services, they really helped me like find different ways to like tailor that to a better major. And so we decided on that. And I just got off the phone today, actually looking at internships over the summer. And so I'm kind of starting that process now. Obviously, COVID put a hold on that my freshman year, but getting going year 2 is not bad at all. I'm involved in campus. I'm on the men's tennis team. I'm also in the concert and jazz bands as a percussionist and a trap set player. I write for the student newspaper, the Simpsonian, and I call some of the football games as well as basketball games as well. So there's just a lot of different ways that you can get involved right away here at Simpson, and I think that's really one of the things that I really appreciated about it. A couple of the things that I've found fun about Simpson just from being here, one of those is the homecoming festivities as well as the homecoming dance. This year there was a medallion hunt. That was the main thing that we had this week, or not this week, but homecoming week this year. And that was kind of interesting because it took so long for everyone to find the medallions. They were like priced at different values. I think that the grand prize was somewhere around $200 or so. And then it went down from there. There were 3 of them, gold, silver, and bronze, I think. And so if you found those, you'd be able to redeem that money. And it was just a fun way to get students like outside and active because they were all hidden outdoors. But my first year, what I found really fun was the homecoming dance. It's just that classic like high school dance feel where you're just in the black box, which you'll be well acquainted with that place if you ever do choose to come to Simpson for a visit. It's this nice like auditorium kind of area with an underhanging or like a nice performing stage as well as an overarching like balcony kind of like thing. And so we actually had Drake Bell. He came and performed for us last year. That was one of my highlight performances, but we definitely try to get like comedians, magicians, other entertainment venues come in here all the time. And I think they really try to keep it fun because I live 3.5 hours away, so I'm not going to go home too often. But people who live closer are staying on campus over the weekends just because it's a nice and fun place to be. So I think that's my Simpson story. I'll turn it over now to Kimberly.
Hi, and I'm Kimberly. I am a senior this year. I'm majoring in marketing communications with a minor in management, and I'm pretty involved on campus. So I work for the admissions office as the undergrad assistant for transfer recruitment, but I'm also a student ambassador, so I might be one of your tour guides. I'm a part of Greek Life, so I'm in Kappa Kappa Gamma, and I'm actually the new member chair this year. I'm on the speech and debate team. I'm a part of TRIO, which is for first generation and low income students. And then I was a part of the newspaper last year. And I'm also a part of Wesley Service Scholar, which is a volunteering program. The reason why I chose Simpson, so I'm originally from Indianola, so I did not go too far to come to college. I chose Simpson because it really truly felt like home. Not the fact that it is located at home for me, but the fact that the community really cared about you. So that first time I stepped onto campus, I remember my admissions counselor being there for me. I met a professor, and that professor, even though I'm not in that major anymore, she's still really close to me. My advisor is actually one of the other professors I met, so we've had that connection for a long time. So the fact that the professors care about you and you're not just a number makes Simpson truly a unique place to be. So that's one of the reasons why I love it. But as a senior, one of my favorite memories so far has been getting to go to New York City twice. So I went to New York City during May term, my freshman year, during a May term class with my advisor. It was for May term, it's basically 3 weeks in May that you can choose a class, and we offer classes both on campus and that you can travel. So I traveled to New York City, and that was a great experience just to get out of Indianola, but also I fell in love with the city and subways. My class was around 12 of us, and every night we would go to Times Square and kind of just celebrate the stuff we were doing that day. So that was really fun. And then I got to go again my sophomore year for speech and debate. And we had nationals out there. And so that was really fun just to go as a whole team again. And speech and debate has been super fun. And it's a great way to stay involved on campus. Our speech and debate team is actually national champions. So I've been a part of that for 4 years now. And for my freshman and sophomore year, I actually made it to outrounds and placed in the top 10, which was really cool. So Simpson is a great place to encourage you to always do more than what you think you can do. I would have never thought I would have placed in the top 10 for speech and debate. I remember my whole freshman year, I never even got to finals at all during any other tournament. And then I got to nationals and made it that far. The professors are always challenging you to do better. And they also find ways for you to stay involved and also take on leadership positions that you never thought you could do. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
I do have a couple questions to kind of get us started here before, just for our students. So Ethan, you had talked about being involved. Can you talk a little bit about how you found those organizations or different things to get involved in your first year?
Yeah, so coming right on to campus, I scheduled a meeting with the tennis coach, and we met that first time that I came on campus. And I also ended up auditioning for the concert band to try to get some extra money for the work I was doing with the band. And having both of those being some major interests of mine throughout high school, and I wanted to continue doing that in college. And the coaches have been really understanding of the time balance and the commitment that I have to both of them. And so they're always willing to let me go from one to another as I need to. And so I'm just really thankful that I have that small school experience where I was able to find all of these programs and continue them into my college career.
All right, thank you. We do have a question from the chat. So Morgan would like to know where you spend most of your time outside of class, and are there hangout and lounge areas?
Pre-COVID, I would say a lot of our students hang out in Kent, which is our student center. It's a great place. I loved going there because I could always find my friends there. So it's kind of the place to hang out, but it's also a great place to go and study. There's tables and couches that you can also sit in and relax and have a great meeting. But there's also booths, and there's around 4 to 5 booths in Kent, and those are a hot commodity. A lot of students will stay there all day and kind of just stay there and camp out because they don't want to lose it. Kent is also home to our other dining options, which is one is Millie's, which is like a Starbucks, so that's really nice. Red Mango, which is a frozen yogurt place, Sub Connections, which is like a Subway, and then Tyler's, which is our American Grill. So it's a great place to hang out. I also like to go to my sorority's house pre-COVID. It's a nice place just to hang out with my sorority sisters and kind of get the comfort of a house right here on campus.
I will add to that. So all of our residence halls have lounges where a lot of people like to hang out. So on Sundays, you can usually see people in there watching football games, doing homework. And both of the freshman residence halls have rec rooms in the basement. So there's pool tables down there, ping pong tables, as well as full kitchens, laundry, and the computer lab. But for fun stuff, there's nice comfy couches down there. And in the sophomore dorms as well, there's some lounges. So the first 2 years, that's where I would spend a lot of time if I wanted to work on some homework with some friends, because then, if it gets to be late at night, you're already, still in your building. You don't have to walk in the cold compared to the library. So that's where I would hang out with my friends a lot the first 2 years.
I would add also that a place that me and my friends like to hang out a lot was in the Holy Grounds coffee shop that we have on campus. It's connected right to the chapel, and that building is actually, well, I don't know about the whole building, but at least the Holy Grounds area is open 24/7. So you can go in there at any hour of the day. So we would go in there always late night, have these little game sessions that we would go and just have a fun time and always hang out. And it's really relaxing in there too. As you walk through, they'll always have some sort of a music playing that just calms you down for the day as you're going through. So I always liked going to the Holy Grounds, and it's still open now, but obviously with COVID, it's a little less prevalent, but I'll definitely be returning there once this goes away.
All right. So I did have about well, I'd had all of you message me about different majors that we have. So I'm going to take note of that, and I will have those professors reach out to you individually for the three of you that did send me the message about the major. So we'll do that. But I do have a question about kind of study areas here on campus. Where is your favorite place to study? I know, Ethan, you just said Holy Grounds is one of your favorite places to hang out, but what about studying?
Well, I think my favorite place to study is kind of variant on the weather, because if it's nice outside, I always like to go to Buxton Park. That it's right adjacent to the freshman dorms. And so if you just walk right outside, you can go and pick a bench and sit down there. Oh my, Georgia lost her light. But yeah, as you go outside, it's just it's got a good feel to it, because you see a lot of the like Indianola citizens walking through there, and you can tell we're just really a college town. We're integrated right in that community, and just the great, scenery around it. You got a fountain in there, a gazebo, many different trees. It's got that nice outdoor feel that kind of takes your mind away from all the stressors that are in your life. If it's indoors, I'm going to go to the library, and particularly I like the cubicles, just to kind of block out all that noise and just do my work there. I'll let Kimberly and Georgia talk. I don't want to steal all the thunder.
Yeah, I can go. You saw me jumping around a few seconds ago. I'm actually in our Carver Science Hall in one of the classrooms right now. So the Carver Science Hall is my favorite place to study. They have a really pretty atrium in the middle of the building. There's like a little fish tank, and it's just a good place. You see a lot of science students in there, kind of collaborating and working on homework together. And like right now at nighttime, I can come in here in one of these classrooms, and you can see all my math and my coding written on the whiteboard. So if you need a big whiteboard space where you just are one of those people where you need to think it out, that's what I like to do. So again, it's open late at night. So it's a good place to really focus. And I think I get more into my math zone rather than being in my dorm room.
So when packing for college, what is one thing you highly suggest bringing that most people often don't think about?
One for me that I didn't think about right away was a noisemaker. So for me, it's kind of tough for me to fall asleep at night. And it was my first time really rooming with someone else. And so I had a roomie who was snoring, and it always was helpful to have that extra noise to kind of block it out. Just there's many different ways you can do that, but for me, having a noisemaker helped.
I guess for me, it would be bringing like another set of chargers. So like if you have a computer, bring a charger for that, bring an extra charger for your phone. I always like keep my phone charger plugged in, but like if I'm traveling or going to classes or anything, I like bringing in a spare one, just so if I do lose that spare one, I still have the one back in my room.
Those are good points. One thing I always say on my tours, if you have the finances, get multiple mini fridges for your room. My freshman year, my roommate and I, we shared one, and a mini fridge can only hold so much. So if you have the finances and you can both have a mini fridge, that always helps the first 2 years, because then you have your own space where you can put, your own food, and you don't have to share and pack it all into this tiny fridge. I remember my freshman year, we walked into this room with 4 football guys, and they were guys, and they had 4 fridges and 4 microwaves and all the food you could eat. And I was kind of like, why did we do that? Why don't we only have 1 fridge? So that's something to think about as well.
Is there anything that you brought that you never needed?
One thing that comes to mind is I brought this little clip-on fan that I thought would be helpful if it ever got hot, which I never used that once because we have our own AC and heating units in the room. And you can also crack a window open. I just never needed it, so I brought it home the first time I went home.
All right, and then this is the last question that I have. If anyone else has any other questions, please put them in the chat. But this is the last one I have for now. This might catch our students off guard here because you're college students, so no one day is exactly the same, right? But what is a typical day for you as a Simpson student?
So most students take 4 classes, which is 16 credits. And our class schedules on Monday, Wednesday, Friday are for an hour. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they run for an hour and a half. So my typical week right now, I have class in the morning on Mondays, and then, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then in the afternoon as well. And then a couple classes on Thursdays. You have the opportunity to take a few online classes as well. So it just kind of depends on your unique schedule. And then within that, I'm able to work in the admissions office. Most work study positions are about 4 to 5 hours a week. So it's really manageable throughout your classes and other things that you're involved in. I'm also in an IT internship in Johnston. So I drive up there for a majority of the day, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then I play softball, so my practices are usually in the afternoons from 4:30 to 6:30, and then occasionally on Saturdays. Our fall season is a little bit lighter. We usually practice Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but in the spring season, it's every day of the week. And so I think every college student's schedule is different, but that's what I like, is that you have the opportunity to build your own unique path, and you can kind of set it up, you know, the way you want to. And for me, it was, I wanted to make a priority to have some morning classes so I could have the afternoon free to focus on softball, and then free up some time where I could go to Johnson and have my internship. And I'm able to be involved in so many different things and then still get a good education.
Yeah, I would say mine is similar to Georgia's. I also do have an internship, but mine's only on the south side of Des Moines, so about a 20-minute drive. So I start my morning bright and early at 6 o'clock in the morning, as I have an 8 a.m. that I go to. And then I have like from 9 o'clock till 2 o'clock free every day. So that's when I usually on Tuesdays and Fridays go up to my internship. But I love having that like midday open. It's perfect. I can go work a shift at the admissions office. I can schedule any meetings. So I love scheduling my meetings with other students, like with my new members from Kappa, or if I have any meetings with a professor, that's like prime time to meet with them. So I love doing that. And then I have a class at 2:10 every day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday. I have 2:10 classes. And then usually on Mondays, I have more meetings for Kappa. And then Tuesdays, I have debate. And then Fridays, I try to keep free as possible. And then Wednesday, Thursdays, I really dedicate to homework and getting ahead. So that's what my typical week looks like.
My week has a pretty good, pretty clear division that Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are pretty heavy class days for me. I generally am going at class from about 9 till 3 is about that range that I'll have class going on. But then that leaves my Tuesdays and Thursdays very open to do shifts at the admissions office, where I give the tours and do mailings and that stuff as well. I also have some of my band lessons, and then that sort of stuff going on. Later in the afternoon is when I typically will have my band rehearsals and tennis practices. They sometimes overlap, but they'll always work very well. This actually transitions well. I saw Elizabeth's question in the chat. Do professors work well with the student athletes? And I see that, I would say that yes, they absolutely do. There's always a way that you can get an absence excused, and they're always willing to work with you to get the material all caught up with, and you're able to go on and do your student athlete stuff as well. They understand that you're here to do many different things. I would say that you're not just one dimensional, I guess, when you come to Simpson, that you can do anything you want as a student here.
Yeah, so I also saw that Morgan is thinking softball. Yeah, and so that's exciting. We love that. But I've had a really good experience. You know, sometimes in the spring we travel quite a bit. And as long as you're open with your professors, I've had a lot of one-on-one meetings where they just reteach me the material again. And so they're really good about working with you, working with your coaches, communicating. If you have a test coming up, you can take it early or take it after the fact. And I'll go ahead and answer part of Taylor's question about, can you take more than 4 classes? Yes, but our max cap for credits is 20 credits. So if you take 20 credits or more, you have a financial penalty. So a lot of students will take 18 credits. If there's a lot of 2-credit classes that you can take that are a little bit lighter load. So for example, I'm trying to think, I think I took a 2-credit online course. So then I didn't have to be in person and I could kind of focus on it on my own time. And that way you can get to 18 credits and knock out some more of those curriculum credits that you need to get done without reaching that 5-class full 20-credit load.
Yeah, and I can add to that as well. I currently have a full 18 credit class load. So what really is helpful, so I have 3 normal 4-credit, three normal 4-credit classes, and then I have my internship class, which basically gives me academic credit for going to my internship. And then I'm also in the speech and debate practicum. And so one thing I really love is, especially when you do take the internship class, your professors, as long as you're open about it and you say, hey, I have an internship and I'm in the class, they're very understanding. I remember one day I had to miss my 210 class because my internship needed me to stay for an executive meeting. So they're very understanding. It is a little bit harder to juggle schedules, especially if for instance, my debate practicum class is Tuesday nights. So I always have to make sure I'm free on that Tuesday night, but it is doable. I know a lot of my friends have done it too. It's just a matter of what you think you can handle and how you can fit that in with any extracurriculars that you're in, any sports, anything like that. But it's definitely doable.
Are there any other questions that anybody on the call has at this time? If not, there is my contact information. So if you do have any questions or you think of anything, go ahead, send me an email. That is my direct office line too. So go ahead and give me a call. And we look forward to working with you through this process and having you hopefully become a part of the Simpson family. So have a great night, everyone.
Bye. Thanks for coming, everyone.